everyone, my name is Metator, and today I will talk about the top 15 games like Amnesia The Dark Descent. Amnesia is a classic and amazing horror game, but have you sometimes wanting something same but different? Well, look no further, I've got a list for you. Enjoy. Penumbra Overture. This game is awesome, one of the best horrors out there. Great story and gameplay, and the ending makes you want to play the next part right away. But the best thing about it is the atmosphere, the little things that make your skin crawl, it's amazing. Of course, keep in mind, this isn't exactly the newest game, but there are definitely more good things in this game than bad. Go ahead and spook yourself, and keep some toilet paper nearby, in case of emergency. Anna. It's an amazing yet disturbing experience. This game has a lot of replayability. Every time you play the game from the beginning, you see new things, and there are 8 different endings. At first, this doesn't really seem like a horror game. You are at the yard, the colors are intense, happy, and there's lush grass all around. But when you get inside, the horror aspect comes out. You will be clenching your cheeks, don't worry. There are jump scares, few of them, but they are really well done, and they come when you least expect them. There will be tons of paranormal activity, especially if you have the patience to stand around and wait a bit. There are many difficult and strange puzzles that require you to read a lot of notes and books for clues. It is definitely worth to play this game and then be afraid to go to the bathroom at night. Darkness Within. It's a game that gives off strong Lovecraftian vibes, and I think it absolutely nailed it. There are even his quotes on loading screens and one Easter egg for you to find. There is no insanity mechanic or jump scares like in Amnesia, so this is a bit different. If you don't like jump scares but still want to feel the adrenaline of horror, this is the game for you. The environments in this game are beautifully detailed in every way. The atmosphere makes you feel like you're really there. You're in a house that looks cozy and comforting. You want to sit on the couch and watch movies all day with popcorn, even though it's not your house, but there is just that bit of creepy and surreal you feel with your gut that doesn't seem right. Slowly, the line between dream and reality fades. The main character doesn't know what's going on. He starts to see inhuman beings and some other entities. They never pose any real threat, but they're still horrifying. It's just amazingly done. Puzzles are very well done, and they connect with each other in a beautiful way. It's a classic primal horror game, and I definitely recommend it. Call of Cthulhu. It is a goldmine for horror fans, although a short goldmine. The game has about 14 hours of gameplay, amazing, detailed and interesting gameplay, but for 45 euros, maybe that's a bit much. But the reviews are still mostly positive, everyone liked the game. They just said the game was short, but it sucks you in. The atmospheric music is done beautifully. I love the art style and how it switches perspectives, and boy, Cthulhu is cool. I think the game is amazing. If you have money to spend on games, I definitely recommend this one to you. Cry of Fear. Released in 2013, Cry of Fear still has pretty good graphics, but in the night it doesn't matter, you can see either way. It's a single player or co-op experience if you want to play with a friend and get scared together. This game is set in a deserted town and spooky creatures where everyone has gone mad and you're searching for answers in the cold night. It originally started out as a Half-Life mod. Now it's a free standalone game for anyone to enjoy, but beware, it's not for the faint of heart. Soma. It's a game from Frictional Games, the same ones who made Amnesia, so you'll enjoy this one. The reviews on Steam are overwhelmingly positive. It's rare to see that on any game. This is a sci-fi horror game about existential questions and what it means to be human. You are in Pathos 2, a deep underwater facility which has suffered complete isolation. Radio is dead and food is running out. Try to survive and save the last living people in the facility and figure out what's going on. But be careful, danger lurks in every corner. It is a more subtle horror game, not outright scary, maybe a positive thing for some people. But the level design is perfect, narrative and sound design is perfect, everything is just perfect, worth the money. Alien Isolation. I say that overwhelmingly positive reviews are very rare, yet this game has also extremely good reviews. 15 years since the events of Alien, this game focuses on Ellen Ripley's daughter Amanda, and she wants to know the truth of what happened to her mother. You are in Sevastopol, a space station, but there is something wrong. There are no crew members, but there are other things. Things to make you jump in fear. It's very atmospheric and a lot of gameplay. You can explore all of the game's mechanics, they all have a purpose. When I played this, I personally never encountered any bugs. I also like that the crafting materials were uniquely designed. The alien is very scary, and it's made by a unique AI which makes the experience much more thrilling. But mostly you'll find yourself wanting to save your game so bad, and when you do, most of the time you do a sigh of relief. The tension is done incredibly well. The sound design in this game is my absolute favorite ever. It was polished to perfection, and other games should really take inspiration from Alien Isolation. This is the best thing to come out of the Alien franchise since Aliens, a must play. Visage. This game is still in early access, but it is a very well done psychological horror. You don't have any guns or way to defend yourself, just like in Amnesia. Reality bends around you. When you backtrack, things change. There are jump scares, but very few, although you feel that they could be at any moment. If you want to enjoy this game, you have to take your sweet time. I hope for a full release soon, but this seems promising, worth checking out. Outlast. Yet another overwhelmingly positive rated game. No surprise, Outlast is one of the scariest games ever. Like in Amnesia, you can't kill the monsters, you have to flee from them. It creates a creepy atmosphere and leaves you feeling defenseless. You will have to die again and again to figure out how to solve puzzles or avoid monsters. This game is full of disturbing images and gore, but it adds to the atmosphere of the game. Also, it should be kept in mind that this is a couple of years old. If you're a fan of horror and you don't mind having plenty of scares and a possible sleepless night, I would highly recommend grabbing a copy of this game from Steam, and also some new pants. Monstrum. Set in a derelict cargo ship where you wake up and have one of 3 monsters in the ship with you, this game is for sure going to give you some adrenaline. You have only one life and the maps are randomly generated, so no game will be the same. There are 3 escape options: submarine, helicopter, and raft. You need to get the parts to escape one of them and avoid the monster while doing it. It's worth the price, trust me. Monstrum is quite difficult, also it has great creativity and visuals. The controls are well done and the game itself is very original. It doesn't do the cliche jump scares. Instead, you hear the monster chasing you, and if you fail to run away, you die a gruesome death. This indie horror game is really good, and I recommend Monstrum to anyone who likes a challenging horror game. And Monstrum 2 will hopefully release in 2020, so fingers crossed. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. This game has a good balance between survival, horror, and action. You're not defenseless in this game, but you aren't exactly powerful either. Don't worry if you never played any Resident Evil games, you will understand what's going on. There is a lot of violence and gore in this game, it's creepy. The atmosphere really pushes the gooey side of things, where there are swamp things chasing you and strange formations on the walls. It's very cool. You do need 24 gigabytes of space, so sorry my potato PC fans. But if you have an average PC, you can easily play this, and then sleep with the lights on. Good luck! Silent Hill 4 The Room. One of the older games, Silent Hill 4 The Room, was released in 2004. It is the different game from the saga that has many aspects that are not really in the other Silent Hill games. Meanwhile, we start from the fact that we can go back to the apartment to save and we see the sequence of the plot. Another cool thing is its ghosts, beings who cannot be killed, and that will scare very much. The most beautiful thing is this game, besides the atmosphere, the music, and the monsters, is the mystery that we have to try and find about Walter Sullivan. A game really well done and, in my opinion, one of the best in the series. Layers of Fear. Released in 2016, this great horror game with good jump scares is easy to walk through and enjoy. If you love scary games, this one is right up your alley. This game has a lot of jump scares. I'm not a fan of them, but that makes it even more scary. In Layers of Fear, the player controls a psychologically disturbed painter who is trying to complete his magnum opus, his masterpiece, his one purpose, as he navigates through a Victorian mansion with disturbing secrets about the painter being discovered. For example, that he eats steak with ketchup. Ugh. But I definitely recommend this one to you. Condemned 2 Bloodshot. Released in 2008, Bloodshot is another psychological horror game developed by Monolith Productions, but beware, it is not a game for children. At choice moments in Monolith's gruesome and crazy first-person horror adventure game, you'll impale rioters, crush the heads of the homeless in a gigantic press, and force the faces of far freakier foes into toilet bowls. Every one of these actions is accompanied by blood everywhere, curse words, and the slimy sounds of people inside splatting onto the floor and walls. And if that didn't convince you to try the game, I don't know what will. It was even banned in Germany because the visuals were too gruesome. Play this game and enjoy all the gore and scary atmosphere. Have fun. Slender: The Arrival. Released in 2013 and developed by Blue Owl Studios, this game is a sequel to original Slender: The 8 Pages. It has good graphics and the requirements of your PC are minimal. It's worth the price. Good way to pass the time. It's not really a difficult game, but boy is it scary. There were about 6 hours of fun and frightening gameplay. You're on your own. No one to come for you. No one to help you. No one to hear you scream. Just of course the big white tall scary dude that's chasing you for some reason. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe and like if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.